Welcome back, everyone. It is Sunday sit-down time. We got KTGR's Andy Humphrey in the house for Sunday sit-down. Andy, I feel like, it's kind of the time of year we're starting to shift maybe to the diamond sports a little bit around here. Would you tend to agree?
I mean, it is snowy outside, or it was snowy this weekend, so kind of hard to think about, but it's going to be here. The home game is going to be here before we know it, so definitely that time.
Well, I know that'll be some good distraction as we do wrap up, the basketball season. Obviously not what Dennis Gates and company would have hoped from this campaign here in his year two. What do you see, going on here? I mean, it's you're kind of entering this last stretch of the season. Really, is it just fighting to get an SEC win at this point?
I mean, yeah, at the very least, you want to try and give the fans that, right? It's not a lot to ask for, and obviously, you haven't been able to deliver a whole lot of results on top of that. But at this point, you try and get your one and hope that you don't end the season with a 0 in the win column in conference play. As far as how it's happened, there's not only one thing as to why it has. I think there have been times this year where, they improve on an area that maybe they had not been playing so well in. Like maybe they play a little bit better rebounding. They don't get out-rebounded as much against a certain team. But then they compound that by turning the ball over a little bit more than they're used to. And then there's give and take in so many different areas to where they can't get out of their own way and they find new ways to lose. So I think in the end it's just a huge sequence of just give and take where they can't seem to find the right combination to finally get past one of these teams. And it's not what any of us expected, but here we are.
Coach Gates was talking this week about the injuries and really just having to navigate that this season. How much do you think, a guy like John Tonje, having an injury, Caleb Grill really seemed to be kind of the juice man for those guys.
Yeah.
Those injuries compounding. You look at Sean East out for a couple games. How much of those injuries really compounded for them?
It does matter. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think they'd be better with those players. Obviously, without them, they wouldn't have to rely so much on hoping that their younger players grew up and became main contributors, guys like even some of their walk-ons like Mawar Majak, who's been playing a lot recently. I think they'd be a better team with them. That said, I don't know if it solves every single one of Mizzou's problems. It doesn't make them a top half SEC team. I still think they're maybe scraping and clawing to get wins here and there against teams that are like-minded to them. And so you definitely want to have those types of players back. We'll see if they do. John Tonje certainly not. He's out for the season. Maybe a question about whether Caleb Grill can do the same, or if not, maybe he sits out and he tries to get one more year of eligibility. But in the end, I do think with the players that they have right now, it might have to be an effort from them to make sure that they get that first win.
How much does the focus now shift to, okay, we got to keep the support going to keep these recruits, this highly touted class for next year, to keep them kind of in the game, in the Mizzou game, right?
Right. I mean, you definitely have hope for next season, and this year is kind of a reminder of, look, things can change on a dime. This does not have to be the same type of season next year that you're having. I mean, you can very clearly rebuild in the portal. You can find other players that can turn things around pretty quickly. We saw that in year one with Dennis Gates. But I think this year also is an example of that the opposite can be true too. Sometimes you can rebuild and you don't get those same type of players, and it doesn't work out the same way. So I think in the end, you can hold out hope that, yes, that big freshman class that should provide, hopefully for the next couple of seasons, a good foundation for what this program can become under Dennis Gates. But at the same time, you're looking for something to supplement in the transfer portal, one, maybe two guys that can slot directly into the starting lineup and really build upon the first few games of the season and get you into a good spot for when conference play starts.
Well, there's really no gimme games. If you look at these, you have Tennessee, a good Tennessee team, Arkansas, at Arkansas, Florida, hosting Ole Miss. We talked about maybe that's an opportunity when they're hosting. They played Ole Miss relatively well for most of the game. When you look at the extended of this SEC schedule, there's really no gimme games, is there?
No, definitely not. And especially because for whatever reason, Mizzou has not been playing all that well at home. It seems that their last few performances at Mizzou Arena have been some of the worst that they've had all season long. If you talk about the Texas A&M game at Mississippi State from last week, I believe, just two of the games that really stick out as the ones that were, you wonder if they even showed up for that one. So I think I need to see them show up for one of these home games if I'm going to believe that, if once Ole Miss comes to town, that they'll have a chance to pick them off, or any one of those other home games that they have. Arkansas obviously has been down with Mizzou this year, maybe not as down, but that's still a very tough place to play down in Fayetteville. So I don't know if you can bank on that either. Whatever win comes is going to be a surprise to me. I said earlier that I can't necessarily pick them to win another game this season with how I'm seeing them play. And so right now they're going to have to show me something I haven't seen before in order for them to get that.
Well, on flip sides to the women, what's been your consensus of this season? Obviously, Robin Pinchton with big, expectations this season. The goal obviously was to make the NCAA tournament. What's been your consensus of this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they've been hit with some bad luck with injuries. They missed Haley Frank for a little bit. They've missed Ngala Kalandi, one of their big players down low for a lot of the season. And yeah, there's been tough luck there, but again, you do have to provide the results in the meantime, especially in a year like this for Robin Pinchton, because it sure does seem like that she needed to make the NCAA tournament this year. I don't know. I mean, there's going to be a lot of talk probably after the season about what should happen, but I think this team has a good young core that can maybe step up and find ways to build upon what they've improved on this year. Players like Abby Schreck and Ashton Judd certainly have been playing a lot better. Grace Slaughter, that's who I was trying to think of. She's been great as a freshman this year. So, I mean, there are pieces that you can work with for the future. It just, this season, for whatever reason, it didn't all fall into place for the Tigers.
Well, I do want to, touch on some Diamond sports while we're here. Obviously, those are kind of getting started. It was exciting to have baseball back, on our TV screens this weekend. Carrick Jackson, hoping things, fall into place for him this year. What do you like about, what Carrick Jackson, kind of the energy he's bringing? I feel like there's a lot of tradition that he's trying to bring into this.
Yeah, for sure. With the fact that he has been here before and knows how to win and finds ways to instill what had been for Mizzou baseball under Tim Jamison, and of course with Tim coming back to his coaching staff this year too. A decent start to the season. Also going to Cal Poly and getting 2 out of 3. I believe one of them was a comeback victory. They'll be interesting. I think they can hit pretty well. They can make sure that they get whatever they need to stay with teams. Question will be, I think, health. I mean, the last couple of seasons, especially on the pitching side, they just have not been able to keep their full staff healthy. They've missed some key guys that have kind of held them back from maybe taking that next step. But again, last year we kind of saw some of those glimpses of some of those pitchers that Mizzou can showcase. And so if they can keep a steady amount of health toward the season, maybe they could do that. I mean, it's still a very tough league. There's still a lot working against them, but I'm interested to see how they attack non-conference play for sure.
Carrick Jackson, with the experience he has, everyone talks, obviously the SEC is, a behemoth of a conference, but, how do you feel like this transition? You go from Memphis to, now you're playing SEC ball, you're coaching SEC ball. How do you think this transition is going to be? It's going to be a tough transition, I'm sure.
It is tough. I mean, because since he left, I think the SEC has only gotten tougher.
Right.
And so and especially when you're going to the West Coast, when you have to travel a lot to start the season, and then you eventually do come home in a couple of weeks. I don't know, it'll be interesting. I think a lot goes into what this program can do. And so I think when we see a breakthrough, I think it'll be because they had a steady amount of health, that they were able to keep guys healthy and ready to go, and a lineup pretty consistent. So I think we'll see that pretty soon.
Awesome. Well, looking forward to getting back in Taylor Stadium. Of course, the Mizzou Softball Stadium as well. Appreciate you making some time, Andy.
Thanks.
For the rest of you guys, we'll be right back after the break.